service, we gave the gift of Bishop's bags. These were to provide food for those who could not get to the Bishop's storehouse on the weekend. The objective was to gather and assemble bags which bishops can use to distribute to their families who could not get to the Bishop's storehouse over the weekend when it's not open. My favorite part of this activity was just the gathering together of everyone in the ward. Truly, it was an example of many hands make light work because it only took us 25 minutes to put together more than 125 bags. It was great to know that we were providing such an important service.
On the second day of service, we made teddy bears for kids who go through heart surgery each year. Every year, over 400 kids go through heart surgery, and this year we decided to make over 400 bears for those kids who go through it. We assembled 400 bears and attached bows and personal notes to go to these kids at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. My favorite part of this was seeing everyone come together with smiles on their faces and assemble these bears. Also going to deliver these bears and seeing the children so happy to receive them.
On the third day of service, we gave the gift of supporting the soldiers. Our service project was giving paper hugs to servicemen and letters to servicemen. And the objective was to have the primary kids make paper hands, and we tied a string between both of the hands, and then we would send it to them so that they would have a hug when they needed it. And we gave them letters to read to show them how much we support them. My favorite part was seeing the joy on the kids' faces when they were making these, and just having the warm feeling that the servicemen that were serving our country were going to get the hugs that they needed, the warm feeling that they were going to have getting those hugs.
On the fourth day of service, I gave the gift of opening the door to more easily record my personal history. The objective of my presentation was to share with the group a technique I had found of recording my personal history into a microphone that connected to my computer and was recorded then in WordPerfect or in Word. I believe the favorite part of my presentation was that I was able to share with the group a tool which has broken down the barrier for my doing my own personal history. The thought of having to run my fingers over the keyboard to enter all of my thoughts was a big enough barrier that I didn't do it. But once I discovered this software package called Dragon, where I could sit and just speak my thoughts, it reduced that barrier and have begun doing my personal history.
For the fifth day of service, we did community cleanup in our neighborhood. The objective of this service project was to help the neighborhood just look a little bit cleaner and help those in need in our area that needed help with fence repair or painting, or we also helped clean up the schoolyard as well. My favorite part was just seeing everyone out contributing and helping. It was nice seeing a lot of people out pulling weeds and doing random things, and it was nice to see everyone invested in their community.
On the sixth day of service, our ward washed cars for people. Our objective of this service project was to wash the cars of the people in the ward and to get to know them better. My favorite part of this service project was washing people's cars while also getting to know a little bit more about them and just knowing that we were helping people out.
On the seventh day of service, we gave the gift of school supplies. Our service project name was Backpacks for Refugees, and we gathered the ward together and made an assembly line of school supplies that were donated, and we put together 100 backpacks for local refugee children for the upcoming school year. My favorite part of this service project was seeing the ward members, old and young, writing special notes to the children and coloring pictures for them to put inside the backpacks.
On the 8th day of service, we recorded personal histories and stories. The objective was to have people tell stories, give their testimonies, and say what's important to them. And through this, the interviewer also creates quite a bond with those they're talking to, because we're talking about very personal and intimate things. My favorite part was interviewing Will Christensen and then the Christensen family. There was a lot of laughter and good-natured teasing, but you could also tell how close they were. And Will had an opportunity to talk about his dad and his parents and upbringing and his testimony, and it was very touching. And then with the whole family, them talking about their vacations and how funny each one of them was, I think it's a treasure that they'll have for a long time in their family.
On the 9th day of service, we gave the gift of food to the poor. We collected non-perishable food for the Utah Food Bank at our neighborhood party. My favorite part was when we had all picked up all the food and we got to see how much food there was.
On the 10th day of service, we gave the gift of socks for the poor. The objective of my service project was to collect socks for the poor. I collected 1,400 new pairs of socks. This is the main resource that homeless people need because they walk around a lot. My favorite part of collecting all the socks was seeing how many and seeing non-members give me socks for the poor.
On the 11th day of service, we gave the gift of clean water. We collected Shoes for Africa, in which they will exchange for the supplies to build a well for clean water. My favorite part of this project is that we all have extra shoes lying around, and we get to exchange them for something that is far better than just old shoes.
On the 12th day of service, our ward provided financial assistance to members of the Rosedale ward out by the state fairgrounds. Our objective was to follow the directive of the Salt Lake City Interim City Mission to limit the amount of service or financial assistance to $25 per person. With this, our ward was able to help 56 families in the Rosedale area out by the state fairgrounds. Our favorite part was just the knowledge that we were able to help so many people during the Christmas season, to be able to have additional assistance to enjoy the season as families.